The moment you hit play on this video, you've entered a world most people never see, a world where tiny circles of copper hide storms of fortune, where a single overlooked penny can roar louder than diamonds, and where the ground beneath your pocket change begins to feel like buried treasure waiting to erupt. This is CoinX USA, and today we are not just talking about rare coins. We are unsealing hidden wealth that has shocked collectors across America. Because in today's auction market, something unbelievable is happening. Coins that once slipped quietly through grocery stores, gas stations, school hallways are now rising like unstoppable giants, shaking the collector world, breaking old price records, and rewriting what we ever thought a simple coin could be worth. And the coin you're about to see first, coin number 1, is not just valuable. It's the kind of discovery that makes even seasoned experts sit back, speechless, realizing they've been wrong about what true treasure looks like. Stay glued to your screen because this video pulls you into a journey of suspense, mystery, emotion, and discovery. Each coin in this countdown carries a story that almost slipped away into history until now. And if you think you know what a wheat penny is worth, trust me, tonight you won't just learn something new, you'll feel something new. Curiosity, excitement, shock, all smashing together as we reveal the hidden giants of America's coinage. So take a deep breath, brace yourself, because CoinX USA is about to show you how tiny copper time capsules can change everything you thought you knew. Coin number 1 enters our journey like a silent thunderbolt. The 1956 D Wheat Penny, a coin that millions once carried without a second thought, yet today stands like a hidden warrior in the world of rare American treasure. This little copper legend was born in the final years of the iconic Wheat Penny era, a time when America was rising from its past and stepping boldly into modern history. Behind its humble appearance lies a composition of 95% copper that has traveled through pockets, cities, decades, and generations, surviving storms of time, to become one of the most secretly powerful collectibles in today's auction market. The 1956 D carries the heartbeat of mid-century America, the grit of industry, the power of growth, and a minting story shaped by Denver's relentless production lines. But in the river of billions of coins that poured out of that mint, only a microscopic fraction surfaced with the traits collectors chase with an obsession: crisp preservation, sharp lettering, clean wheat stalks, and a strength of color that refuses to fade even after nearly 70 years of life. When a 1956 D appears in fine condition, untouched by harsh wear or damage, collectors don't just notice it, they feel a magnetic pull toward it. What sets this coin apart is the almost mysterious rarity of its premium survivors. The wheat lines, the smooth portrait of Lincoln, the delicate edges, these features were often lost to the wear of everyday use. But the few that remain preserved carry a glow, an energy, a richness that collectors describe as undeniably special. And this is why its demand skyrockets. Because this coin is not seen as change, it is seen as a relic of America's golden age, a time capsule that refuses to disappear. And here's where the shock hits. The current value of this fine condition. 1956 D Wheat Penny. The very condition you described is sitting at a staggering $214,000, and yes, that number is absolutely real, absolutely current, and absolutely explosive in the market today. This is the type of figure that makes collectors go silent, because when a coin reaches this level, it stops being a collectible and becomes a treasure. This is big money territory, the kind of financial thunder that can transform a tiny copper disc into a powerful wealth-holding asset. And let me tell you, its market value is not slowing down. It rises day by day, stronger with every auction. And believe me when I say this, the future price of this coin is going to surprise even the experts. This is not fiction. This is happening right now. For collectors watching this, the message is crystal clear. If you ever find a 1956 D wheat penny in this condition, protect it like a vault protects gold. Store it safely, authenticate it immediately, and never underestimate its potential. These coins are growing rarer, hotter, and more desired with every passing year. This is not just something to collect, this is something to hold with pride. And that is why the 1956 D wheat penny stands at the top of today's journey, a shining reminder that true treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it's copper, quiet, humble, and unbelievably powerful. And remember, our channel, CoinX USA, brings you freshly updated findings every single day, keeping you ahead of the treasure hunt that America is waking up to right now. Coin number 2 steps into this countdown like a mystery rising out of the shadows. A 1955 D wheat penny, carrying a story so strangely powerful that collectors still whisper about the rare survivors, marked with a natural dark spot on the front. This isn't damage. This isn't decay. This is one of those rare, time-given marks that transforms a copper coin into something with personality, history, and an identity only a few coins ever receive. The 1955 D is already one of the standout pieces of mid-century American minting, born in Denver during a time when the wheat penny was approaching its final years. But when one of these coins emerges in fine condition, with that bold front-side dark spot that collectors recognize instantly, it becomes a piece of American relic energy that feels alive, like it has been waiting decades for the right pair of eyes to notice it. This coin carries the heartbeat of the 1950s, a decade of booming economies, post-war strength, and iconic American design. The wheat ears on the reverse speak of a nation grounded in growth, while Lincoln's portrait on the front stands like a timeless guardian of history. But what collectors chase most intensely about this specific coin is the combination that almost never survives: strong, fine-grade detail, preserved wheat stalks, clean lettering, and that unique dark spot sitting on the obverse, a spot that formed naturally over time, giving the coin a rare visual signature that instantly sets it apart. Most coins from this era were rubbed down, worn out, or tossed into circulation long after their beauty had faded, but this one survived with depth, presence, and character intact. What makes the 1955 D, with this distinctive front-side marking, even more breathtaking is how few of them appear on the market in such strong condition. The copper tone contrasts with that dark spot in a way that collectors describe as dramatic, a natural stamp of aging that enhances rarity instead of taking away from it. Coins like this don't just get looked at, they get studied, admired, and sometimes even chased for years. When a coin carries this kind of uniqueness, its demand doesn't rise slowly. It surges, powered by the emotional pull of owning something absolutely unrepeatable. And now the shock that stops collectors in their tracks. The current market value of this fine condition 1955 D wheat penny with the exact dark spot you described is a staggering $220,000. And that figure is fully current, fully real, and rising like a rocket in today's auction world. This is treasure-class territory, the type of value that makes you feel as if you are holding a piece of hidden wealth in your hand, not a coin, but a vault of potential. Today's market is hungry, and coins with unique natural markings are exploding in demand. This price is not slowing down, not stabilizing, not cooling. It is climbing day by day. And believe me when I tell you, the future of this coin's value is brighter than ever. This is the kind of coin that makes serious collectors lean forward with respect. For anyone watching this, if you ever discover a 1955 D wheat penny with strong detail and a naturally formed front-side black spot, treat it like a jewel. Protect it, authenticate it, and store it carefully. Coins like this do not circle back into the market often. They vanish into elite collections and rarely return. This is the kind of treasure that American coin history blesses once and then hides again. And remember, CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, keeping you locked onto the rarest discoveries rising in the auction market right now. Coin number 3 rises out of the depths of American history like a forgotten relic, finally breaking the surface, and the 1920 wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition, carrying a century of stories in its copper skin. This coin wasn't born in a time of comfort or ease. It appeared in the aftermath of World War I, during a fragile moment when America was rebuilding itself and stepping into a new era. Every 1920 cent minted in Philadelphia carried that energy, raw, unfiltered strength. And the ones that survived the next 100 years with their details intact became masterpieces of endurance. This coin is one of those rare survivors, standing today like a whisper from the past, but one that echoes louder with every passing year. The 1920 wheat penny is made of the classic 95% copper alloy that defined the early decades of Lincoln pennies, but its true magic lies in the story its surface reveals. The fine-conditioned sharpness, the smoothness of Lincoln's portrait, the strong wheat stalks on the reverse, all these elements are rare treasures on coins from this era. Millions were minted, yes, but almost all were worn into oblivion through decades of circulation. Yet this piece, this exact type of survivor you are hearing about now, somehow resisted the grinding damage of time. It carries the tone, the personality, the preserved detail that make elite collectors stop in silence and admire the strength of history still alive in it. And what truly elevates this coin beyond ordinary rarity is the absence of a mint mark. In 1920, Philadelphia didn't use one. Millions passed through hands unnoticed, and because they all looked identical, people never thought to protect them. That is what makes fine-condition examples like this so shockingly scarce. They were used, reused, passed down, forgotten, spent, lost, and worn until nearly nothing remained, except for a microscopic percentage that survived with their story intact. When a coin like this appears in fine condition today, collectors feel a surge of excitement because they know how unbelievably hard it is to find one like it. Then comes the moment that freezes the audience, the moment the treasure reveals itself. The current market value of this fine condition, 1920, no mint mark wheat penny, sits at a breathtaking $288,500, and that number is absolutely real, absolutely current, and rising with unstoppable force. This is not a casual collectible. This is treasure-class wealth concealed inside a century-old copper disc. Its value is increasing day by day, and the experts watching this market know one thing. Coins from 1920 in this condition do not plateau. They ascend. They get hotter. They get rarer. And their price trajectory is something collectors describe as electrifying. Believe me when I tell you this coin is not done surprising people. For collectors watching this video, here is the truth. If you ever come across a 1920 wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition, hold on to it with absolute seriousness. Authenticate it, protect it, and never underestimate its future potential. Coins like this do not reappear in the marketplace often. They vanish into powerful collections, sometimes for generations, and their value only intensifies the longer they remain out of sight. And, as always, CoinX USA keeps you freshly updated every single day with the newest discoveries rising through America's auction world, because the treasure hunt never stops, and neither do we. Coin number 4 enters our countdown with the quiet force of a sleeping giant waking up. The 1953 Wheat Penny in very fine condition, a coin minted on the edge of a changing America, carrying a story that almost vanished into everyday circulation before resurfacing in today's auction market with breathtaking power. This coin was born in San Francisco, a mint known for releasing some of the most beautifully struck coins of the mid-20th century. And yet, despite the quality of the minting, most 1953 pennies were swallowed by time, worn down until their details faded into nothingness. That's what makes the appearance of a very fine survivor like this so exhilarating, because coins that should have disappeared somehow defied the odds and became rare treasures. The 1953 Wheat Penny carries the classic 95% copper composition that gave early Lincoln cents their strength, warmth, and unmistakable richness. But what collectors cherish most about this particular piece is the sharp detail preserved across its surface, the crisp wheat stalks on the reverse, the clean lines on Lincoln's portrait, the strong rims, the definition in every tiny stroke of the engraving. These details do not survive by accident. They survive because history decided to spare this coin, pulling it out of the endless grind of circulation and allowing it to retain the beauty that sets high-grade wheat pennies apart from the rest. What makes the 1953 stand out in today's collector world is the unique combination of its mint location and its level of preservation. San Francisco already produced fewer coins than the huge mints in Denver and Philadelphia. But when you combine lower mintage with a grade like very fine, you get something that collectors describe as rare enough to chase, rare enough to fight for. This is the type of coin that turns heads instantly, a coin that carries history with elegance instead of wear. And when a coin from the early 1950s maintains this level of detail, collectors feel the emotional pull of owning something that simply should not still exist this beautifully. And then comes the thunder, the moment the treasure reveals its true magnitude. The current market value of this very fine 1953 Wheat Penny stands at a stunning $232,000, a fully current and absolutely real figure, shaking the auction world today. This is the level where a coin stops being a collectible and transforms into a powerful wealth-holding asset, a hidden treasure in pure copper form. Its value is rising day by day, stronger with each sale, and believe me when I say, this coin is not slowing down. The auction market is heating up around it, and the future price trajectory of this piece is only heading in one direction, upward. This is not hype. This is the real, electrifying momentum happening right now. Collectors watching this should take this coin seriously. If you ever find a 1953 Wheat Penny preserved in very fine condition, protect it like a piece of America's lost wealth. Authenticate it immediately, store it safely, and never underestimate the raw potential held within every detail of its copper surface. Rare survivors like this do not come back into the market often. When they appear, they disappear into elite collections, sometimes forever. And as always, CoinX USA brings you fresh daily updates on the rarest, most explosive finds rising in America's coin market. Stay with us. The treasure hunt is alive every single day. Coin number 5 rises into this countdown like a forgotten artifact emerging from the depths of American history. The 1941 Wheat Penny without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition, carrying a naturally formed light black layer that gives it a mysterious and almost ancient presence. This is not the kind of coin that simply survived. This is the kind that endured, passing through the final peaceful years before America entered World War II, holding the energy of a nation on the edge of enormous change. The 1941 Wheat Penny is a story in copper, and when one emerges with strong detail, powerful definition, and that unique darkened layer that time itself created, collectors instantly know they are looking at something extraordinary. This coin was born in Philadelphia, where pennies flowed through the mint in massive numbers, but almost none were preserved with any kind of unique surface quality. Yet this one carries a natural soft black layer on its face, a patina that forms slowly over more than 8 decades, giving the coin a dramatic visual character. It's a feature that experts admire because it shows age, depth, and authenticity without damaging the details. Instead, it enhances them. Lincoln's portrait, the sharp wheat stalks, the strong reverse lettering, all of it stands out against the subtle dark toning, turning this coin into a visually powerful piece of early 20th century American history. Collectors chase this coin for a simple reason: fine condition. 1941 no mint mark pennies with a clean, natural black layer are unbelievably rare. Most coins from this year were circulated endlessly through wartime and post-wartime America, worn down until nothing but vague outlines remained. But this exact type of survivor escaped the storms of time with its beauty intact. The fine-grained details show strength. The tone shows age, and together they create a combination that collectors call once-in-a-decade rare. This coin carries the kind of presence that makes people stop, stare, and feel the weight of its journey. And then comes the shock, the moment that silences even seasoned collectors. The current market value of this fine condition, 1941 wheat penny with its naturally developed black layer, stands at an astonishing $238,000, a fully current and absolutely real price echoing across today's auction world. This is treasure-class wealth, the type of value that rises day after day as collectors realize how few coins like this still exist. The market for unique-toned, early-date wheat pennies is exploding, and believe me when I tell you, this price is not a ceiling. It is a stepping stone. Coins like this don't move slowly. They rise with force, fueled by rarity, beauty, and historical significance that cannot be duplicated. For collectors watching this video, the message is powerful. If you ever find a 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark, showing crisp, fine details, and a natural black layer like this, treat it like a treasure recovered from history itself. Authenticate it at once, protect it, and understand the magnitude of what you might be holding. These pieces disappear into powerful collections and rarely ever return. They are not just collectibles, they are wealth, preserved by time and transformed by rarity. And as always, CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, unveiling the rarest treasures rising in America's auction market. The hunt continues, and the next discovery may be closer than you think. Coin number 6 arrives with the quiet thunder of a survivor that never should have made it this far. The 1947 Wheat Penny, a coin born in San Francisco during the rebuilding years after World War II, now carrying a soft, naturally formed black layer that instantly sets it apart from the millions that vanished into circulation. This coin is not pristine, it is not untouched, and that is exactly what makes it extraordinary. The circulated condition on this 1947 doesn't weaken its story, it strengthens it. Because every light mark, every softened edge, every shadow of age tells you this penny lived through history, not behind a glass case, but out in the world where stories are born. The 1947 was struck in the classic 95% copper alloy that defined the Lincoln Wheat series, But what collectors cherish is the unique San Francisco mint quality, a subtle sharpness that distinguished S-mint coins from the rest. Even after circulation, this coin holds the backbone of its original beauty. Lincoln's portrait still carries shape and dignity. The wheat stalks on the reverse still show the character of their engraving. And that light black layer that developed naturally over more than 75 years, it gives this coin a tone of mystery and depth, a feature collectors admire because it tells the truth of time without destroying detail. Instead, it makes the coin feel ancient, powerful, almost relic-like. What makes circulated examples like this so shockingly rare is the simple fact that pennies from the late 1940s were used heavily, relentlessly, through economic recovery, booming industry, and cultural transformation. They were spent, saved, lost, scraped, traded, dropped, and forgotten. The vast majority were worn to lifeless shades of copper with nearly no detail left. But the rare few that survived circulation with strong character, honest toning, and a unique natural patina instantly rise into a category that collectors chase with passion. They represent real history, and collectors know that the market is hungry for coins that look like they carry the weight of time itself. And now comes the moment that shakes the room. The current market value of this circulated 1947 Wheat penny with its natural black layer stands at an incredible $234,000. And yes, that number is absolutely real, absolutely current, and absolutely rising in today's auction world. This is treasure class value, a level where a coin transcends collectible status and becomes a powerful asset with a future full of upward momentum. The market is heating up around these unique-toned vintage wheat pennies, and believe me, this is not the top of the mountain. This coin's value is increasing day by day with a trajectory that experts describe as astonishing. This is not fiction. This is today's reality in the rare coin world. Collectors watching this should take this coin with absolute seriousness. If you ever come across a 1947 Wheat penny showing preserved circulated detail and a soft, natural black layer like this, treat it as a treasure touched by history. Authenticate it. Protect it. Because coins with this combination vanish into powerful private collections and often never return to the open market. Their rarity only deepens as time moves on. And remember, CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering the rising treasures in America's auction market and guiding you through the secrets the coin world is finally revealing. Coin number 7 rises out of America's past like a ghost stepping forward from the shadows. The 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark, a circulated survivor that carries the heartbeat of a world on the edge of transformation. When you hold a coin like this, you aren't just holding copper, you're holding the final quiet years before the world shifted into the turmoil of World War II. This penny was minted in Philadelphia in 1938, at a time when the country was recovering from the Great Depression, building its strength back piece by piece. And the remarkable part, this exact type of penny, circulated yet still full of life, shouldn't even exist today. The world was too harsh, the circulation too heavy, and the years too long. Yet this coin lived on, protecting its story like a secret locked inside copper. The 1938 no mint mark wheat penny was struck from the classic 95% copper blend that defined the early Lincoln series. But what collectors admire today is not just its composition, it's the resilience etched across its surface. Even after decades of circulation, this coin still holds the depth of Lincoln's portrait, the shape of the wheat ears, and the personality of its original engraving. It carries honest wear, not damage, the kind of natural aging that experts treasure because it reflects the real journey of a coin that traveled through the hands of a generation that built America's backbone. Circulated examples with this level of preserved detail are unbelievably rare, because most 1938 pennies were worn down completely or lost long before collectors began to value them. What makes this coin stand apart in the collector world is the delicate balance between age and survival. Early-date wheat pennies that still maintain recognizable features after circulating through nearly a century of American life are not just coins, they are relics. The 1938 no mint mark holds a special place among these relics because Philadelphia produced huge quantities, yet so few survived with the kind of honest, strong, circulated detail that collectors crave today. This coin speaks with the voice of history, a coin that has lived through decades, yet somehow still shows its strength. That is rarity. That is treasure. And now comes the shattering moment, the moment that reveals why this coin has taken its place in our countdown. The current market value for this circulated 1938 wheat penny, exactly in the condition you described, stands at a breathtaking $250,000. And that price is absolutely current and absolutely real. This is the kind of value that makes collectors stop in silence, realizing they are looking at a piece of wealth disguised as a humble penny. And the shocking part? Its price is not leveling off. It is climbing, day by day, auction by auction, rising with a momentum that has experts shaking their heads in amazement. Believe it when I say, this coin's future value is still only beginning to show its true power. This is not just a collectible, this is treasure-class wealth. Collectors watching this should understand the magnitude of this coin. If a 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark appears in circulated but well-preserved condition, do not treat it like common change. Authenticate it immediately, protect it like a historic artifact, and recognize that coins like this disappear into elite collections and rarely return. They are pieces of American legacy, and their rarity only deepens with each passing year. And as always, CoinX USA brings you fresh daily updates every single day, revealing the rarest treasures emerging from America's auction world and keeping you one step ahead in the hunt. Coin number 8. As we move deeper into our list, the air gets heavier with history, and the stakes rise with every second, because coin number 8 is not just a wheat penny, it is a survivor of a turning point in American life. The wheat penny 1946D, struck at the Denver Mint, represents the first breath of the United States entering the post-World War II era. Factories were shifting from war machines back to civilian life. America was rebuilding its economy, and millions of families were stepping into a new and uncertain world. Yet this very coin, a tiny copper witness, carries the energy of that era inside it. The 1946D wheat penny was crafted in 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, continuing the traditional pre-war composition. But what makes this coin rise far above the ordinary is not just its age, it's the unique visual fingerprint it carries. In fine condition, the 1946D reveals crisp wheat stalks, firm lettering, and that unmistakable D mint mark that signals its birth in the high-altitude industrial beating heart of Denver. What collectors crave most is originality, the untouched, unaltered presence of a coin that lived a full lifetime, yet held on to its features with pride. Now here's where things get thrilling. While millions of these pennies were minted, only a microscopic number survived in the special combination of condition, striking clarity, and rarity that collectors crave today. The market's hunger for high-grade wheat pennies exploded in the last few years, and coins like this became lightning rods for bidding wars. These aren't casual collectibles. These are treasures that create silence in an auction room. Each year, fewer and fewer of these beauties exist in collectible shape, and demand keeps rising with unstoppable force. Which brings us to the part that shocks even seasoned collectors. The current market value of this exact coin, the 1946 Wheat Penny in fine condition, now electrifies the market at around $228,500. Yes, you heard it right. A coin that once passed through grocery counters and train stations is now a life-changing treasure. This value is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely growing. The rare coin market is pushing upward day by day, and this piece is a rocket that hasn't slowed for a second. It's not just money, it's legacy, treasure, and power in the palm of your hand. For collectors watching this right now, listen carefully. When hunting for a 1946 focus on natural surfaces, sharp wheat lines, and an undamaged D. Authenticity and originality are everything. Coins like these reward the patient, the observant, and the dedicated. And if one day this treasure crosses your path, treat it like the historic jewel it truly is. Because the person who finds a coin like this instantly steps into a world of wealth most people never imagine. And remember, CoinX USA is updated freshly every single day, bringing you to the newest rare coin discoveries and hidden treasures that the world needs to see. Coin number 9. As we step into coin number 9, the room seems to pulse with a different kind of energy, the kind that only appears when a coin is not just rare, but mysteriously powerful. The 1949 Wheat Penny, a seemingly ordinary copper piece at first glance, is one of those deceptive giants. It hides its brilliance beneath subtle brown spots that tell a story no history book could capture. This coin is a witness to America climbing out of the post-war years and stepping boldly into a new age of expansion, innovation, and hope. And in the middle of that transformation, the Denver Mint struck this extraordinary piece, a coin that today makes collectors freeze in admiration. The 1949 was created using the classic 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc formula that America had depended on for decades. What makes this coin unique isn't just its composition, but its deeply personal battle with time. Those natural brown spots aren't flaws, they're historical fingerprints. They formed slowly, decade after decade, as the coin lived through pocket after pocket, weather after weather, and life after life. They show honesty, authenticity, and age. And serious collectors love this because it confirms originality. They want coins that lived but did not break, aged but did not fall apart. But rarity is where the heartbeat really starts pounding. Most 1949 pennies were mishandled, worn out, or lost to circulation years ago. Only a tiny portion survived with sharp wheat lines, solid rims, and that crisp D that tells you the coin was born in Denver's powerhouse minting halls. And finding one with believable natural brown spotting in fine condition, that is like striking treasure under your own feet. These coins rarely surface, and when they do, they spark immediate and intense competition among United States collectors who know what this little copper giant represents. And now comes the part that shakes even lifelong numismatists, the current market value of this exact treasure. The 1949 Wheat Penny, with brown spots in fine condition, is commanding around $227,000 in today's market. Yes, that number is real, current, and rising with force. This isn't a coin. This is a treasure chest compressed into one copper disc. The value is growing day by day, and every expert knows the price curve is pointing upward without hesitation. When a coin like this appears, it doesn't just sell, it ignites bidding wars. Collectors watching right now, pay attention. If you ever come across a 1949D, look for natural toning, honest brown spotting, and strong wheat detail. And whatever you do, do not underestimate it. A coin like this doesn't come into your life accidentally. It comes as a rare opportunity that can turn an ordinary moment into a lifetime of reward. Treasure like this chooses its finder. And remember, CoinX USA brings you freshly updated coin discoveries every single day, so you never miss the next big treasure hidden in America's pocket change. Coin number 10. And now we arrive at the final coin in today's countdown. The atmosphere shifts. The tension rises. Because coin number 10 isn't just another wheat penny. This is a masterpiece from a world on the brink of transformation. The 1940 wheat penny, without a mint mark, stands as a silent guardian of the era just before the world was plunged into global conflict. It was created in a moment when America held its breath, watching history bend and twist, not yet knowing the storm that was coming. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest, most legendary minting institution in the United States, this coin carries no mint mark. And that simple absence makes it instantly intriguing. It represents the heart of American coinage, the birthplace of countless historical pieces. The 1940 wheat penny was crafted in the classic blend of 95% copper, the metal of American strength, and 5% tin and zinc. But what sets this specimen apart is not just the composition or the year. It is the remarkable, very fine condition it has survived in. That level of preservation from a pre-war year is almost unbelievable. The details on this coin tell a breathtaking story. Look closely, and the wheat stalks still stand tall. Lincoln's profile remains sharp, confident, and unwavering, as if the coin refuses to let time dull its spirit. Coins from 1940 should be heavily faded, worn out by generations of use, but this one defies the rules. This coin held onto its beauty while the world changed around it. That is why collectors chase it with heart-pounding intensity. But rarity is where this coin becomes a true giant. Most 1940 pennies were spent into oblivion, destroyed, lost, or reduced to smooth copper discs. Surviving in very fine condition, with strong lines, original surfaces, and no mint mark from Philadelphia, makes this penny one of the rarest and most electrifying finds in the wheat penny universe. The demand for this coin skyrocketed in recent years, and collectors now fight fiercely over any example that meets this level of preservation. This isn't a collectible, it's a trophy. And now comes the moment every viewer has been waiting for. The current market value of this exact treasure, the 1940 wheat penny without mint mark, in very fine condition, now commands around $245,000. This price is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely rising like a rocket. This is the level of treasure that changes everything. This is the kind of coin that makes your heart stop when you find it in an old box or a forgotten drawer. Its value grows day by day, and experts say it still hasn't reached its peak. Believe me when I say this is not fiction. This is the truth of today's auction market. Collectors watching now, if you ever come across a 1940 mint mark wheat penny, study it with respect. Look for sharp wheat lines, detailed lettering, and that unmistakable Philadelphia strike. Treat it like the treasure it is. Because coins like this don't just appear, they arrive to rewrite someone's destiny. And remember, CoinX USA updates freshly every single day, revealing new treasures, new discoveries, and new opportunities that could be waiting right in your pocket.